Hi guys, it's Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I'm here with you guys today to do an interactive tarot card reading on what lessons you guys are currently learning in love. What lessons are we as a collective learning in love? So if you didn't know, an interactive tarot card reading is just to pick a pile. So I've got 4 piles out in front of me, and before I go into those, I want to talk about the occasion for this reading. I just earlier today is the 23rd, there's a new moon in Pisces. So just earlier today, I finally recorded the astro forecast for this new moon in Pisces, and it's always for the 2-week period following the new moon up until the full moon, and then of course in 2 weeks I'll do one following the full moon up into the new. So I got to looking at what was going on in the sky, and this Pisces moon energy is definitely going to be very, very strong for at least a week or so. But also, Venus is going through so much right now, you guys. Venus has a ton of squares. Venus is squaring up with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto during this time period, like before we even get to our next full moon, okay, which is on March 8th, okay? And then, okay, so I got to looking a little deeper into it because that's going to be very, very challenging for the love aspects of our life, okay? Basically the things that it's going to be a challenge that we can grow from, but it's really about what's in our hearts, okay? What do we value? What do we treasure? How do we treat people and things that we love, okay? Then, you guys, I got to looking at this because based on the placement of where these planets are, I was like, whoa, there's going to be a whole bunch of aspects coming up again soon, but these are going to be harmonious aspects, okay? From March 28th until April 4th, Venus is going to trine those same 3 planets. And a trine is a harmonious aspect, okay? So it's going to be challenging this time around in the next couple of weeks at the end of February, beginning of March. And then at the end of March, beginning of April, we're going to have the same set of transits, but they're going to be really positive ones, okay? So the reason this is important is that's all happening right before we have a full moon in Libra, which is Venus ruled. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of lessons about love that we have to learn in March and April, okay, from the end of February until April. And the reason why I say this is really, really important is because then on May 13th, the day before my birthday, it will be Taurus. The sun will be in Taurus, Venus will be in Gemini, and it's going to go retrograde. Okay, so any lessons that we don't do the work on between now and May is going to come back and bite us in the butt. In May, that's what's going to happen. That's what it always does, okay? Venus retrograde is always an opportunity for the universe also to present something to you to kind of test whether or not you're really done with your past karmic cycles when it comes to love, sex, and relationships, okay? So these relationships can be with family, friends, anybody, but really we know that Venus is a lot about romantic love, also self-love. All right, so without further ado, definitely check out that astro forecast. It's called Venus's Voyage. My Heart Will Go On. That's the song download I got. And in this reading, definitely come back to it later if you need to. Pick another number later if you need to. Watch the whole thing if you want to, okay? Because there could be a number of lessons that you're learning in love right now. But I decided to get together 4 distinct message, and I have 4 piles laid out before me. So I'm going to go ahead and transition to my bird's eye view and let you guys pick one of the piles in front of me today. All right, so I have 4 piles laid out for you guys. I went ahead and I shuffled and I dealt these earlier. Some of the cards did come out face up, so I've seen them, but I haven't seen any single pile as a collective message, all right? I have them numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, which may be backwards too, but that's the order that I'm going to read them in. And then I've got 4 stones associated with these. So if you just want to pick based on the number, these are all time stamped below. All right. And there's a collection of cards here because I have several questions that I want to ask to kind of talk about what lessons we're learning, what tools we have at our just available to us to help us navigate these, advice, and then a potential outcome if we're able to follow that advice. Okay, so for pile 1, I have this beautiful record keeper, rough ruby. For pile 2, I have a pink rhodonite. Nice and marbly. Yeah, look at that. Banded. Pink Rhodochrosite is the stone that I've got for pile number 3. And then for pile number 4, this is a turquoise. All right, so I've got a rose quartz at the head of the reading, but it's not one of the piles. Go ahead and pick all 4 of these. All of these pink stones and the blue and the red are all associated with love in some way, shape, or form. So go ahead and pick your number. If you haven't done that yet, pause, because I'm ready to get into pile number 1. All right, so time stamping. Pile number 1, if you picked the ruby, let's take a peek at what message we have for you today. All right, so the first card out is from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, and my question is, what lesson am I learning in love? Okay, and then I have 3. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell you, this reading does feature an erotic tarot deck. Okay, all right. I swore, oh, we have 5 cards out for this one. All right. So if erotic tarot is not your jam, go ahead and move along. All right. What tool do you have available? What is some advice? And then what is an outcome? I like this so much. Okay. Your outcome is the 2 of Cups, you guys. So let's pay attention to how we get there. Okay, guys, so the overall vibe that I'm getting for this reading is that the lesson that you're learning in love, the card that came out is Choice from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I also have, for this reading, we ended up with 4 cards from the Decameron Tarot, okay? I really feel like this is not just a lesson about the importance of making choices, but the importance of trusting your choices, okay? Because I feel like this person is in a situation where they're sort of in this, I want to call it a sanctuary, a safe space, but as you can see, it's very dilapidated. Like, it's old. It's time to move out of this space, all right? She's looking at, it's almost just like some sort of crystal ball or even a cup, all right? And she has divine guidance, okay, there with her. That's what this dove represents to me, okay? So the lesson that you're learning is about choice, making choices and trusting your choices, okay? How is this lesson playing out in your life right now, okay? I don't like this card, and I don't want this to feel like a call out, all right? Because we have to discuss some self-sabotaging behaviors, okay? The tool that you have is actually being able to recognize and leave behind your own self-sabotaging behaviors. But I do feel like there's something going on, something that, some way in which you've been sabotaging yourself when it comes to relationships, all right? Oh, okay. All right. These are the 5 of Swords. Ooh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay. We have 5 and 8 together. This is 13. Okay. So they're giving me death card vibes, which to me is just kind of like obviously something that needs to be put to rest. But I'm also getting this energy of very scorpionic energy, some very, very deep rooted subconscious lies that you tell yourself. Okay, you've internalized them because you've heard them so many places before. And these are lies like just things that self-sabotage you, things that keep you from trusting your own choices and decisions. All right. So mental patterns that you're stuck in, or that you've been stuck in, where essentially what happens is you don't know how to choose right from wrong. You don't really have a strong enough sense of your own values, or somehow you end up in situations where people get you doubting your own values, because it's the Hierophant reverse is what I'm talking about here. And then the King of Pentacles reversed. And if you don't know what's important to you, then you never end up choosing. Like the King of Pentacles, to me, chooses and goes out and secures that which is valuable to him. He knows where the value lies, and then he will go out and he'll choose that and make it his own. All right? So regardless if you're a male or a female, the energy here is about somebody who ends up talking themselves out of trusting their own choices. Okay? The good news here is that you're realizing this. You're beginning to realize this. You are, I feel like, just because of the figure in the trust card, this is the advice. And I'll go more in on this in a little bit, but I feel like she's really, wow. The Four of Trees remind me of the Four of Wands, and that's somebody who has like reached a place of growth, a place where they can continue to grow because it's steady and it's stable. They worked on it. They worked on getting there. So I feel like you guys are in a place where you're beginning to see that it's your own choices that lead you down the path that you go on. Okay? And this is a very long-standing lesson. Rubies are about passionate love, but this is a record keeper ruby. If you guys can see the triangle pattern, it's a trigonic record keeper, okay? So it's access to the Akashic records. And what that says to me is that this is a karmic lesson, something that you've been on. And the beautiful part about it is when you master this lesson and this cycle, that's when you're truly ready for love, like a real soulmate connection. You guys, this is beautiful, all right? But let's talk about how you get there, all right? Some of y'all doing witchcraft, maybe. Look, he's in a big old pentagram. Yeah, like that dude cast a circle around him. That's the same kind of energy where I feel like you're really blocking out what's going on around you. And you're cutting cords, you're cutting ties, you're not necessarily to any particular person or relationship, but to this habit that you have of self-sabotaging yourself by not trusting in your own choices, okay? By the way, I want to tell you how much my very first thought when I saw the word choice is that that's a keyword for the Lover's card. And we don't have the Lover's card here, but we do have the Two of Pentacles, all right? Because love is a choice, all right? You're going to be presented with a choice. Do I go for this? Do I not go for this? All right? Feelings aren't always a choice, but love is an act, all right? So you guys are really getting to the bottom of understanding. I just want to show you this picture. Do you see the guy laying in the pentagram? That's what I'm saying. Some of you guys are just doing some witchcraft on yourself, and that's beautiful, all right? I was telling my friend about how I did a sugar jar on myself, all right? I don't cast love spells on other people. I cast them on myself, all right? When you need to work on self-love, that's a thing you can do. I've never in my life, you guys, realized that each of these swords is going into the center of a rose, all right? The rose is a symbol of love. And if you're doing any love magic, if you're trying to do a honey jar on yourself or a sugar jar on yourself, you got to break that rose open, because that represents getting to the absolute core of your heart. And that's where these swords are piercing. All right. I do want to say, let's go ahead and get into the image in this Five of Swords that's a part of the lesson that you're learning. I think it's probably just climbing on top of things you really shouldn't be. Okay. So questioning some of the choices that you're making, or even choices that you're not making. All right. Some of you guys have repeatedly been making choices. You don't even realize that you're making choices that are just not even in alignment with your values. And that's how you end up devaluing yourself. And you don't get to, you're not presented with things that you really want to hold on to. So you're not letting yourself really go out and get them. Okay? You're not being presented with things of value if that's the case. You're basically, this is a call in, not a call out. Kind of selling yourself short. You're selling yourself out. And you're this King of Pentacles reversed because you're not attracting anything of real value. You're attracting things and saying yes and choosing things that are misaligned with your values and your self-worth. Okay? So this Five of Swords reversed, all right, shows me that you're beginning to see the cause of this. Okay? Another thing I want to say about the center of these roses is this is something that really ends up blocking your heart chakra. All right? Or you end up opening up your heart chakra to these situations that are not aligned with your values. And it really causes some damage there. So the fact that he's laying on the ground, do a little pentacle, do some protection, protect your energy. I say pentacle, it's a pentagram. It's a pentagram, okay? Don't worry, it's not about the devil, you guys. It's just a symbol of protection. Get over it. I love you all, all right? Advice for you guys, trust yourself. I feel like this, like I said, this is somebody who's really, really calm. I have so many messages coming in, but let me slow down, all right? Really, really come to a place of sanctuary, kind of, all right? Gotten out of this kind of crumbly old building, all right? And come to a place where you're on your own, okay? You're listening to your own inner voice. That violin makes me feel like you're finding a way to sing your own song. All this green energy, by the way, is heart chakra energy as well. But look at what's on the table. Let me get a good focus. It's a mask. You got to take off a mask that you've been wearing, okay? Maybe it's because the people around you, maybe you're putting yourself in a situation that are in alignment with the values of the people around you, and you don't want to take off that mask and show that you're different from them. But the fact is, you have to be able to trust your own decisions when it comes to love and relationships. Love and sex and relationships, okay? It's very, very important, because only once you master this lesson are you eligible for the real thing, all right? There's so many great symbols in here, all right? The lion is a symbol of strength. This caduceus is a symbol of Mercury, so I feel like this is communication. But that heart, it's bright red. This lotus flower, oh my gosh. This is a spiritual, passionate, loyal, devoted love, okay? These two cups are on equal plane with one another, all right? When you learn to trust yourself, that's when you can bring in somebody that's going to build trust with you. I know, right? Isn't it amazing how that works? As within, so without. All right? You guys, this is a really, really beautiful message. I have a lot of trust in you, and I want to see you grow that trust in yourself. I really believe that you guys are doing the work, and I'm proud of you for doing that. Just make sure that the choices that you're making in life are in alignment with your own inner truth. That's what she's tuning into right there. All right. And she's going to be, I really think, moving out of this space. These peonies to me symbolize lust. But you see how there's not really much else for her in this building. Right? So she wants to go to these green pastures out there and find this place. Stand near a river, get in touch with your emotions. And look at this. People have to step up to get there to you. All right. So some of you guys are really beginning to distance yourself from your own self-sabotaging behaviors. And I think maybe even some other people or a general social environment which encourages behaviors that are not in alignment with your true values. All right. So I'm proud of you guys. Pile number one, my rubies. Keep doing the work and you are going to be rewarded. All right. Thanks so much. If you like the video, please go ahead and like it before you leave. And I'll see you guys again soon. Hi guys, let's go ahead and take a peek at pile number 2. Those of you who chose the pink rhodonite, I swear you guys, I had to study up so much to not confuse my pink rhodonite with my pink rhodochrosite. Okay, so the symbology, the meaning, I guess, behind this particular gem is it's one of really transmuting pain into forgiveness. And so I'm really interested to see how that plays out. I'm starting with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. And you guys, I forgot to say it in the intro, but I'm using an erotic tarot deck. All right. So there's going to be some boobies and things like that. If that's something that makes you uncomfortable, I'm very, very sorry to have gotten your hopes up. Maybe just like cover your eyes, right? I won't say the names of the body parts. But I'm going to hold them up to the screen, okay? So I've got one Vintage Wisdom Oracle and 3 of the Decameron Tarot came out. I've got a tool or something that is available to help you to navigate this situation. I have advice for you, and then I have an outcome, okay? So, pink rhodonite, let's go ahead and get into this. I do really feel like you're going through a period. Oh my God, look at this. Guys, I just have to stop. Let me get it right. And geek out about the imagery here. Do you see how very synchronistic these 2 cards are? All right. This is the lesson. Gentleness is a lesson that you're learning. And this 4 of wands is the outcome. Okay, so we got birds here, we got those white and yellow flowers. All right, for some reason the bride theme and the fountain go hand in hand for me. This is, oh, we've got temperance, you guys. Yes, yes, yes. This is all about learning to love yourself through some anxiety, I believe. Okay? I think for some reason I'm getting a really, really strong sense that you guys this group of people can be very, very sometimes critical of themselves. But let me slow down and really, really get into the message here, okay? So like I was saying, pink rhodonite is about taking feelings like shame and guilt and being able to transform them, transmute them, not just release, because here's the thing. When you have a powerful emotion like that, all right, if you want to manifest something equally powerful, you have to learn how to transmute it, all right? Don't just throw away all that energy. Take what you're feeling that you don't want and transmute it into the feelings that you do want. And we're going to take a peek at what this is about. I really feel like you're in a period, this is all about self-love. What Venus is teaching you right now is about self-love. You guys might have Venus in the 1st house in your astrological chart, or you might have Taurus or Libra in your 1st house in your astrological chart. You guys also might have a Venus in Aries, because Chiron is in Aries right now. This is all just intuitive stuff that's coming through right now. But you guys know I know my astrology. So go take a peek at your chart. Because there's something that has to do with Aries, 1st house, or Chiron. All right? Or maybe Venus. Yeah. Yeah, because Venus is in Aries right now, so it would be in your 1st house. All right? Either way, Venus is in Aries, so for all of us, self-love is a theme, okay? But that's what I think that this gentleness is all about. I think that you guys have, what you have behind you is something very barren. See how those trees are, it's kind of wintry, they're not growing. In fact, we see these snowflakes, all right? So this is sort of an emotional winter time. This is you kind of drawing into yourself and really doing a lot of healing. Yeah. This winter has been a lot about healing. And for some reason, these 3 birds, they're telling me 3 months. Maybe just the last 3 weeks. But I think a lot of you guys, I don't know why they're doing this. They're having me touch the birds again and again and again. That's 3 months. For some of you guys, 3 years. That this winter has, it's like winter time in your heart, okay? But there are these flowers of hope. I wish I knew the name of those flowers. I would look them up in my book of correspondences right now. But they're white and yellow, and just like the ones in this 4 of Cups. So you guys, I hope this is making sense to you, because this message is coming through so incredibly intuitively. It's just like, it's coming just straight out of my mouth. It's not even stopping at the brain first, okay? But these 3 birds also represent swords to me, because it's the air element. So there is some sort of heartache going on. There's been a heartbreak in your past. And I honestly feel like you guys are blaming yourselves. Because we have the Magician reversed. Which to me can be like acting in a way that's not in alignment with your true self, but you really didn't mean it to be that way. I don't know how to explain that. Or looking back at something that's not your fault and saying that it's your fault. For some of you guys, you had the wool pulled over your eyes. All right? Because this Magician reversed can also be like, this is a trickster energy. This is somebody who's lying, deceitful. And it's I hate to say it. In fact, I'm going to take back those words. I apologize. I think they're hurtful to say you had the wool pulled over your eyes. But I just think that somebody deceived you, and you shouldn't blame yourself for that, because there really is a lesson to be learned. The fact that it's on this table shows it's a part of this lesson that needs to be learned. Okay? So that's a message for some of you guys, and you're going through kind of like this anxiety about how like I quote unquote let this happen to me. All right. So I feel I'm just really getting a sense of self-blame. All right. Or completely the opposite, where there's been this heartache and you're going through this healing, but you're not really seeing what you did. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's the first thing, that you're blaming yourself for something that's really probably not your fault. But I think that this triggered something from your childhood, to be perfectly honest, is what I'm getting intuitively. Because there was some dynamic that played out earlier in your life at some point in time that taught you to blame yourself for things that weren't your fault. Okay? Parents do this a lot. I will admit it. Parents do this a lot. They kind of just take out energy on their children, and their children end up being like, oh my gosh, it's definitely my fault that mom is upset. They'll internalize that stuff, okay? So some of you guys, that's the kind of thing that you went through, and that taught you to internalize that when things go wrong, it's your fault. Or if somebody deceives you, that's your fault. All right? I don't think that's really the case. But I also, and another energy that I get here is that you don't understand why you keep manifesting what you keep manifesting in love, but it's because you're doing it from a state of anxiety. All right? Like panic or despair. Like, if I don't have this, I can't be happy. And then what you do is you manifest somebody else who's from that same space. All right? I'm getting a lot of different messages just with this 2-card combination. But what's very, very important to me now is the Temperance card. This is a part of the lesson as well. I don't remember the exact cards that came out for pile number 1. But I remember this last position kind of being the lesson. Like, This is the path you're being dragged through to get here. All right? To this place of healing, of temperance, of really beginning like to understand that relationships are a give and take, because that's also the same theme that is coming up with the Six of Pentacles. The lesson here is that relationships are about a give and take. And if you look back over a relationship and you blame only one person for the way that things went wrong, I really think the person that's being blamed here is you. You're blaming yourself for the way that things got messed up. And you have to heal that. You have to realize that everything is a give and take. And once you realize that, there's this awareness that exactly that. You take out of relationships what you give into them. Okay? But not everybody else does. Not everybody else is willing to invest that. Once you take a step back and you say, you know what? I contributed to this and the other person contributed to this. And you stop and you make a list of how healthy were your behaviors and how healthy were their behaviors. How often were you trying to really like meet them halfway, and how often were they trying to do that? And you're going to say, you know what? When it comes down to it, I bring a lot into a relationship. This person just didn't see that. And it's not your fault. Okay? So I really think that what's coming out of this is a healthy sense of your own self-worth and what it is that what is your price of admission? This is in any type of relationship. Okay? The price of admission is basically what behaviors are you going to expect and demand from another person in order to get access to your heart, to what it is that you have to offer. And when I say demand, you don't come out and say, I need X, Y, and Z for you. But you draw these boundaries where if they cross them, you can stand up and say, you know what? This is not an equal give and take. I know what I have to bring into a relationship. And I know that the real problem with these past relationships is that they didn't see that or value that because I didn't value myself. Okay? So the advice here is take some time to like really meditate. These cards are so glossy. You just kind of like, wait, we got. Look, it's like an infinity mirror. Ooh. Okay, sorry, I'm being a dork. All right. Meditate on that shit. Okay? I love that she's like opened up this little urn. Wow. Okay. So what happens is all of those things that you don't get to do for yourself because you're busy doing things for other people in relationships. I feel like there's honestly a lot of gaslighting going on. Okay, do you know what I mean? This is past energies, or this is a part of the lesson. Okay, going through this general theme where you are allowing yourself to take the blame or the guilt of the relationship, and there's so much that you have to offer that you're not getting back in return. In order to sustain that, you have to kind of suppress what are your priorities. Your priorities, I think, have taken the back burner for so long. So now it's time to get your priorities straight. When you know it's important, saying no. Yes, you guys, saying no gets so much easier. That's what the card says. When you know it's important, saying no gets much easier. All right? Check in and understand. Say, you know what? I value my time and my attention and my love and my affection. I value my cooking. If I'm going to offer these things to people, they need to be willing to respect what are my priorities. And put your priorities first, okay? This is the foundation. Once you've gotten this done, this is the foundation This is the point where you really get to celebrate, because she's got the birds and the flowers, but it's winter time. This is spring. This is summer. This is celebration. This is when you really are in a place that you can grow from. And from that place of knowing your own self-worth, that's when you can attract an ideal mate. You see the 1111 in this card, right? This is the Four of Wands. This is a twin flame card. Okay? For some of you guys, that's what it would take to bring in that kind of relationship, which is beautiful. Really, really beautiful energy. Okay? I love this so much, you guys. Please understand. Another message I have here is you don't want to exchange your coins, your value, your time, yourself with people who aren't willing to make you a priority. But this is really about meditation. And this urn is sort of like all the things that have been, that you have suppressed, that you have allowed to die. And you open that up and you're like, oh my God, I forgot all about these magical dreams that I had. And these wishes and desires that I had for my relationships before I began to settle. But also, do you know what? Four of Wands. Wands are fire energy. Look at how many flames there are. 4. Okay? What happens when you stop and you check in with yourself and your own goals and your own priorities and be able to speak that truth, because this is blue. This is the throat chakra. Okay? Let those priorities out. This becomes your vision for this place where you grow and thrive. Okay? Pile number 2s. I love this energy right now. Go get yourself a pink rhodonite, all right? Because what this is doing is you're transforming this sense of blame, transmuting it into this sense of self-worth. And that is such a beautiful blessing and lesson to be getting from Venus right now. So I'm just so happy for you all. I love you very much. If you resonated with this message, or if this message resonated with you, definitely hit that like button. Maybe subscribe before you get out of here. Leave a comment if you like. I love you all. Take care. Hi guys, if you are here, you picked pile number 3, unless you accidentally clicked the wrong timestamp, in which case, go get to the right place. This is the reading for pile number 3. Pause while I get a drink real quick. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Pile number 3, you chose the pink Rhodochrosite, all right, which is different than the pink Rhodonite. It's a little pearlier, okay? The pink Rhodochrosite is really all about healing, okay? Healing over the loss of love. And so I kind of wonder if that theme might come out a little bit. We're going to begin with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I forgot to tell you guys, oopsies. I forgot to tell you guys I'm using an erotic tarot deck. So if you don't like naked bodies that are, involved with other naked bodies, then you should click away at this time, or just look away. You can just cover your eyes, because I'm gonna hold them up to the cameras, but I don't really I'm not gonna get vulgar. Wow, we got some King's energy on the table and a couple of Knights as well. I would not be surprised if there were this were more of a masculine energy that chose this pile, okay? But also it can be for any gender. But there's serious mastery coming up. Serious mastery. All right. Let me go ahead. Wow, an abundance. I love this, you guys. Give me 1 second to tap into this message. Oh my gosh. And I will let you take a peek at these cards as well. Okay, you guys, this is a fun message because I honestly really don't think it is nearly as much about love. Venus is the planet of love, yes, but really of all the things that we value. All right, we have a King of Pentacles as the outcome. All right, and we have abundance as the lesson that you're learning in love right now. Okay, so I feel like there is a major love of self, investment in self energy at this time. Look at both of them. They're even looking at each other like, hey, what up? We got the same mind frame. We got the same outlook on things, okay? We like our abundance. We are cultivating our own abundance. We're securing the things that are important to us. So I really think the message that you're learning is about prosperity and abundance when it comes to all the things you value. But there's also a message of self-worth here. More so in the Queen of Pentacles. This is about going out and getting what you value. Locking it down. Okay, so let's talk more about this abundance card. I got several things going on, but I'm trying to channel these butterflies right now. Okay, these three cherubs at the top, okay, represent the Three of Cups to me. All right, the Three of Cups is just happiness, celebration. All right. They gave me the line from Sorry, me and my lady sip the Deuce cup. All right. So just like being in a place of celebration, celebrating the love that you have around you. Part of this is saying, hey, look at where you are right now. It might not be the kind of love that you're seeking, but you're surrounded by love and abundance. Okay, usually this archway represents like spiritual protection and angels looking on, and I do think there's definitely a message there. This abundance that's owed to you is really owed to you, and I don't think that people should walk around the earth believing that anybody owes them anything, but karmically speaking, you earned some abundance. Okay, so the angels are there to make sure you get it, but at the same time, they represent to me the Three of Cups. All right, just being able to really appreciate the simple things in life, the simple connections, friendships. All right. For some of you guys, I think you may have lost a friendship, and what you're being asked to do is to look around at all the love that you saw available to you. All right. This lady's got so much of it, and she's cute. That bow in her hair, that big old 80s Madonna looking bow, I love it. Okay, so know that you are divinely protected at this time. All right, but the lesson that the thing is, they got all their instruments out, they're playing you a song like do 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 do. We want you to know that there's abundance all around, even if you don't see it. Okay, even if it's not the abundance that you're looking for, because the thing is, you've been on this quest, and nothing that you're finding is really satisfying you, because we got the Four of Cups here. All right, that's like be like just disillusionment with your options at this point in time. But because look at how you're going on your mission. You're not even looking where you're going. You're just moving. You're just going. All right, that's why this is a knight and not a king. Because he doesn't know, like, the mission that he's on. Okay? The king is the guy who writes, he invents the mission. He's like, here's the mission that somebody needs to go on and accomplish the thing. And the knight's like, I'll just go whatever direction I feel like I need to go. This knight is just, he's moving, he's action oriented. And what's crazy is we have the Knight of Swords at the end. And typically the Knight of Swords is moving even faster than the Knight of Wands. But in this one, he's come to a halt. So there's a story to that. Give me a second, I'll get to it. Wow. And here's the thing. The reason why you're on this mission is there is something unhealed in you. All right, that's the Six of Spades reverse. This isn't like deep childhood wounds, I don't feel, but it's just like maybe your last relationship, or maybe I feel like this is more of like a mindset about relationships that you are stubborn, you're reluctant to move on from. Okay. There's an opportunity here to see things from another perspective. Yes, yes, yes. You're out there looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love into many faces, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. And you don't see anything that you like. That's what this Four of Cups is. Or like you're not seeing what's right in front of you. Okay, so all that's needed here is a shift of perspective, and I really feel like this is some new information coming in that just stops you in your tracks. See how she's got her hands on her hips? All right. I mean, she's hiking up her skirt to him, but I really also believe that this is kind of almost like a call out. I think somebody's going to say to you, hey, have you ever noticed? Right? Have you ever noticed? And then you see things from this different perspective. All right? So the tool that you have that's going to help you navigate through this is this amazing Cancer energy. All right? I want to say Cancer Venuses. Venus in the 4th house. I'm a Cancer Venus, by the way. Venus in the 4th house. Any Venus in water, really. And Venus in, this is all intuitive. Okay, give me a second to figure that out. 4th, 8th, and 12th houses. Okay. Which makes sense because they're the water signs. All right. So honestly, I think that the gift that you have is that once this information is kind of called out to you, you're able to really take that and sit with that and be mature about it. All right. And he's looking around him and he's like, you know what? I am surrounded by abundance. Okay? I see it now. I do really see it now. All right? Your advice, this is really beautiful. Dance. Step into the light. Share your gifts and talents with the world. Because here's the thing. I feel like you guys are on a quest for this one particular type of love that you can express yourself in. Because we have blue. This is the throat chakra. This is self-expression. Creative expression. So you have all this pent-up creative expression, this expression of love, but you're looking for this one particular type of relationship to express yourself in. And then somebody calls you out and says, you know what? Homie, look around. We're here for you. We're all around you. You have so many outlets for love in your life. You just have to try to keep your eye off of just that one type of love. All right? So this is a stone of healing. Because that's what's going to get you in this perspective where you really know what is important to you and you value and you're able to really sustain and invest in and keep those relationships that are really important to you. All right? Because this Knight of Wands energy, he's not the best friend. No, he's not a good father or brother or family member really either. He's not even looking where he's going. All right. But this King of Pentacles, that's what's really beautiful about this, is you take this Knight of Wands, I'm acting out of just some need to act. This Knight of Swords, which is somebody confronting you with something that allows you to see it in a new way. You get this new perspective. You're like, oh shit, I understand it now. All right. You move from this Knight energy into this King energy, but also the wand and the sword are seeking. The Knight is seeking, all right, because these are male energies. They're out there on this quest. The Pentacles and the Cups are receptive energies. Even though these are kings, even though all of the court cards are masculine court cards, the Pentacles and the Cups are receptive energies. You're able to really look around and receive the love that is around you, rather than always out there trying to chase it and pursue it. Okay, I think that's a really beautiful message, you guys. Go out and get yourself some pink Rhodochrosite. If the reading resonated with you, definitely hit the like button before you go, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, and best of luck with you guys. Okay, abundance is all around you, and who knows, maybe this was exactly the message you needed to help you see that. Okay, best of luck to you guys. All right, guys, welcome to the reading for pile number 4. Those of you who chose this pile, the number 4, or of course the turquoise. Now, the turquoise stone, I'm kind of interested about this reading and see what's going to come out, because the turquoise stone, to me, has always represented friendship. Okay, so it's really good for protection, luck, all sorts of things like that. Definitely prosperity. But let's go ahead and take a peek at what cards came out for you guys. What lesson? I've got one card from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, and then a couple cards from the Decameron Tarot, you guys. I forgot to give you a heads up at the beginning of the reading. This is an erotic tarot deck. So if you don't like erotic tarot decks, you should click away. There's nudity, okay? And if you're under the age of 18, definitely do that. Wow, you guys. Woo. Okay. Wow. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, let's stop and take it one by one. All of this is super upright. You guys. I feel like this particular lesson hasn't necessarily been a lot of work for you. It has required some clarity. Or like, you know, like a search for clarity, and that maybe has just taken some time. But we begin, wow, okay. We begin with the card Freedom to represent the lesson in love that you're currently learning. And then the outcome is this Ace of Wands, all right? And this kind of happened in one of my other readings where I saw this instant connection. See how she's got this like white bird, and in the future there's these like, I know they're clouds, but these remind me of little white feathers, all right? So something about this white bird energy, which is to me divine truth in this one. It's divine guidance. Some of you guys are literally getting some messages from Spirit, okay? Because she is in a place where she's kind of in this big walled city. So I feel like she's in a this is emotionally having one's walls up. But and I've talked about this before, how in this deck sometimes people are outdoors, sometimes they're inside structures, and sometimes they're inside these, like what I like to call these little spiritual, these frames, okay, that are kind of ethereal. So it's almost like, to me, I see it as spiritual protection or spiritual guidance, all right? So even though you may feel like you're in a position where your walls are up, you know that the goal is to be able to get those walls to come down so that you can be free to love again. All right? This has been it's really interesting because it's just like this. I feel like this bird, it's almost like, wow, okay, now there's more of a story coming to me. This bird has come from outside of those walls. Something that's unlike, okay, so I'm imagining she's in there and she's like healing, okay, because she's got the pink. She's working on self-love, okay? When I say she, the figure in the card, it could, if it's you could be any gender, all right? And having all these walls up, okay? People trying to get in but not getting in, because you know what? Self-love is the order of the day. That's what this pink is about, all right, to me. Or maybe some sort of unconditional love, all right? But that's something that like somebody's definitely working on. That is the purpose of this cycle and this lesson, all right? This white dove has made it over the walls because it's just unconventional methods. You're not coming on a car or a wagon or a horse or on foot. This bird flew over the walls, all right? So something or somebody was able to penetrate these walls and get in and bring a message of hope, all right? So I really feel like this message springs you into action because I just have the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Fool. Okay, so this truth, this little like ray of hope that's come through is essentially what you needed, this Ace of Swords, all right, to be able to really, now you've got the motivation to move forward and to go on a new adventure, which is what the Ace of Wands represents as well. This is inspiration. This is a new path opening up in front of you and you're like, yes, that's what I was hoping for. All right. Because when your walls were up, you were subject to a lot of illusions. Okay. A lot of illusions. But also another message I'm getting with the Seven of Cups reverse is you weren't even looking at your choices. All right. So it was one or the other. But this is very Piscean energy for sure. All right. So this is just like a lot of illusions in love that were keeping those walls up. But then this bird comes in and brings this message of purity, of hope, of some sort of divine inspiration, some sort of higher love, all right? And the illusions fall away. Clarity has come. That's the tool that you have, is the ability to really look at these illusions that were keeping the walls up and to be able to let them down, all right? Your advice is time. Schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. But I'm going to kind of ignore that. All right? Because I want to talk about the sacral chakra, which is an orange color. And how, because it's about love, you guys. And I already got like people doing it on these cards. So let's go ahead and talk about how your sacral or womb chakra stores the energy of past lovers, not just emotionally, but like, it's the chakra that's associated to sexual expression. All right. So anybody that you've express yourself sexually with a lot, or somebody that you've had a lot of emotional connections to, if there's any sort of jealousy, shame, fear, guilt, blame, that's all stored in the sacral chakra. All right. So when it says schedule a sacred date for yourself, you know what kind of date I'm talking about, right? Maybe the kind of date where you need to buy some new batteries. That's just, I'm letting you know. All right. There's actual parts of a machine on there. So I think that's kind of funny. All right. But I do also think that this is talking about over time, you've stored up a lot of energy in your sacral chakra that would like to be released right now. All right. In a healthy way. So dancing, exercising, yoga is really good for that. Stretch out those hip flexors real good. Okay. And then there's some meditations that you can do. Listen to some solfeggio frequencies and things like that. All right. But I think that really what's amazing is that the clarity that's coming in for you is not just helping you see the clarity of the current situation, but of many situations over time. Okay, take what you know and apply it back through your own history. And there's a lesson to be learned in that, all right? The outcome, once you get through this, if you're doing the work, is a beautiful Ace of Wands. Okay, so new beginning. You're really ready to start a new cycle, and this is, like I said, a path opening up before you. So that is a really, really, really exciting energy to me. I hope it's exciting energy to you. If the message resonated with you guys, definitely make sure that you hit the like button before you go. Subscribe if you haven't already done that. And best wishes to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading today and for being a part of the Soul School family.